Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. This is the America First Pilled channel. So we need to talk. There's a bill that has just passed the House that's on its way to the Senate. And it's called the NDAA Section 219. And what is that? It's linked, has to do with the military. Now Grok isn't the best source. I mean, they do have some sources on the bottom where they talk about it, so I can link some of these sources at the bottom. But Grok does a good job explaining the facts about what actually is going on. So I'm gonna read to you what they're telling you, but what they're not telling you, because I think it's a very bad idea. And yeah. But first, I'll explain what it is first. So, the phrase NDAA military merger, that's what they're calling it, is a military merger. Primarily first, that it expands the U.S. Military Technology Corporation. Critics, including some lawmakers, advocacy groups, describe it as a step toward merging. So maybe not a full-on merger, but definitely still more close enough that you could probably call this a merger, while supporters call it enhanced coordinations without any actual merger of command structures. So, maybe it's not a merger in the sense that they're, calling the shots, but it kind of could lead that way, and I think it will, because it's one of those things. Well, what could possibly go wrong? So, it establishes a structure and the main elements. So why did our Congress, all Republicans, by the way, pretty much, requires the U.S. Secretary of Defense to designate executive agent to coordinate expanded bilateral efforts, covers joint research, development, testing, evaluation, co-production of weapons, licensing, industrial cooperation, network integration, and data fusion across areas like AI, quantum, and autonomous systems, directed energy, cyber, biotech, and more. I think it's called industrial cooperation. Excuse me, that's the word. Sorry, I mispronounced that. So it aims to integrate Israel also origin or jointly develop technologies into U.S. weapons systems and acquisitions programs on a more permanent, streamlined basis. It builds existing corporations like missile defense, but formalizes, broadens, and significantly, potentially making reverse harder for future administrations. This is not a full military merger, okay? Not joint command nor transfer decision-making authority to Israel. No combining of forces. Supporters, including AIPAC, emphasize it. Formalizes existing partnership without ceding sovereignty. Yeah, I don't know if you could really trust that, but Because, I mean, but they're telling us it's not a full merger. So meaning United States still has the control over decisions while Israel has control over their decisions. So I don't know if it's an amendment. If it's an amendment, then it likely will be blocked, because I think they tried something like this last week and it got blocked, which I hope it does, because I think it's inappropriate. But so before I get to my takes on it, which I'll then read the cons on why I think it's bad and what the facts I've seen why it's bad. Here's some reactions. Supporters view the U.S. technical edge and leverage just Israel innovation and deepens a key alliance with new aid commitments. Critics view reduces U.S. strategic independence, embeds Israel influence in U.S. supply, and limits future policy flexibility, and lacks sufficient oversight. Some call it fusion or integration that prioritizes foreign interests. It has drawn attention from across, including the isolationist conservatives on the right, so the very anti-war right, of course the far left, and the pro-Gaza activists. Well, here's the thing: I don't give a shit what the left think. These progressive think on anything. I mean, at least because I don't think the left is really anti-war in principle. They just hate Israel. The pro-Palestinian crowd is. Here's the thing: if they had the chance to, they would do the same thing Republicans are doing, but the other way around. They would try to merge our secrets with them, just because. That's the problem. So anyway, the bill often includes force structure or acquisition charges, but none of the prominence of Israel debate. No active proposals for merging branches. Okay. So anyway, so here are the risks that are being said about this. What are the risks? What could possibly go wrong for possibly doing this? Particularly, it's controversial. A lot of people are outraged by this over U.S.-Israel defense technology cooperation provision fall into several categories based on criticisms from lawmakers, analysts, advocacy groups. These concerns contributed to delays in the bill's progress. Sovereignty and strategic independence risk. Deeper integration could make it difficult or costly for future administration or Congress to disentangle supply chains, technology, or discrepancies if policy priorities shift in Israeli or U.S. interests. Critics argue it creates irreversible ties, giving Israel leverage over U.S. weapons and systems. Military planning examples include past incidents where Israel reportedly blocked U.S. technology transfers from third parties like Ukraine. It may reduce U.S. flexibility in foreign policy, potentially locking commitments beyond traditional aid that are harder to condition or limit. Okay. Intelligence technology. Expanding sharing sensitive technologies could expose U.S. to espionage. Israel has committed history of spying on the U.S., which they do. China too, but Israel does too. It's the only one you're really not allowed to mention. Data fusion and network integration raise concerns about backdoor spyware, compromise systems influencing U.S. operations. Also, biotech manufacturing cooperation could conflict with U.S. commitments under international conventions if not carefully managed. Okay, that's about the intelligence stuff. First it was sovereignty, intelligence, and now human rights. Okay, obviously AI. Everyone's so concerned about AI. Is it going to be weaponized? Targeting tools, civilian harm could expose U.S. to complicity claims, sanction risk, or damage to international. I mean, I would agree the sanction risk is the thing that really bothers me, because if countries that hate us see that we are having this merger and they see that it's more Israel's going to basically be kind of controlling us through our military, you're going to start seeing countries take actions considering us a threat. Shifting from overt embedding could shield activities from congressional oversight, public scrutiny, future restrictions. You have supply chain problems, economics. So you have the tax systems could create vulnerability to domestic defense production, disadvantage to companies. Job creation might create domestic political lock-in, complicating future policy changes. Then you have broader legislative political risks. Delays, partisan. Okay, well, that's not really a problem. But yeah, this is a real problem, people. I mean, I think just reading the concerns and what it basically gives Israel, I think should be enough to say that this is not a good idea. And here's the thing, no one's made a case for this on why this is a good idea. So all the, those who, and this is even an anti-Israel take, but again, no one on the pro-Israel side has given us a reason why this is a good idea. They just tell you to shut up, or they call you, or they label you if you even question this relationship. No, there's no other country that we give this much loyalty and alliance to but Israel. And, I mean, only Israel has this leverage, meaning they could be, so basically, if you don't want to do something that Israel wants, it actually makes it harder not to do it, because in a lot of ways, it gives Israel more leverage over our military. So while you're saying it's not a full merger, Israel now has even more leverage power to make USA comply to their demands if they're not in our interests. I mean, if you already think for those who don't think that Israel's been dragging us into their wars, well, this is going to risk us to get involved even into more of their foreign entanglements. This is officially a complete alliance with their militaries. It's kind of similar to NATO. But this is even more than NATO. So I don't understand this. And every Republican, even my senator here, Ron Johnson in Wisconsin, voted for this. Tom Tiffany, running for governor here, voted for this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to vote for him anyways for the governor race, because we can't elect a communist, for goodness sake. But my goodness, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Republicans are literally making Democrats look more like the America First party right now. And they are further from that. Being that they are the party of foreigners, since they only represent illegals and criminals and basically, you know, people of migrant, basically anyone but native whites, basically, they don't represent. But this is the problem with the two-party system. And this is the thing. I mean, this is what you get when you vote for the establishment, basically. You either get, with Democrats, you either get more immigration, more demographic change, more open borders. And with Republicans, you get more funding for Israel and more wars. This is what you get for it. All our money is going to the industrial complex. So, another thing I want to read from this, and this is an important part right here, and why I think they're doing this, and it's good that they're reporting this, because Netanyahu basically said something about wanting us to weed off of military aid. But basically, this replaces aid. So, in a way, we're still going to be aiding Israel, but the structure of the aid is shifting decisions into the Pentagon procurement system, which has literally failed audits for the past 10 years. So, yeah, another competent intel agency where military deals are managed with less public scrutiny. So, I mean, I'm a no vote. I hope it gets blocked. I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, this is not appropriate. And I don't understand how anybody could defend this when we give no one else this same power like this. We don't align with anyone else this closely. So, you know, for those who probably will find something to disagree with in this video, I want to know you to give me a good reason why this is justified to do. Seriously, I really ask for an answer for this. I mean, that's all I have, but I thought I'd give you guys some important update about what was happening. And I'm very disappointed in the GOP right now. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Let me know down below if you like this channel. Please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. The America First Pill channel out.